Hello everyone, Andy Schwab here from Kansas City at the National Association of Farm Broadcasting Convention, and we've had the opportunity to talk with Brad Boner, the president of the American Sheep Industry Association, of course a Wyoming producer himself. And Brad, recent news that we just heard about is a listening session coming up for lamb producers. Talk about the importance that this potential of getting that feedback more so of having lamb insurance for these producers.
Yeah, so as most of everyone knows, we lost our only risk management tool about 2 years ago, and so RMA Risk Management Agency has decided to come back and do listening sessions, one which is in Belle Fourche on December 7th. Really encourage everyone to come show up for that and give them your thoughts. I think, one of the hurdles we have in this industry right now is setting a safety net so that lenders can feel comfortable lending some of our folks money. And so really important if we can get some risk management tools available to our producers.
Well, and also we're hearing progress on this farm bill finally, and it sounds like we're possibly going to get this extended out for a year. What's American Sheep Industry Association looking at on the farm bill?
Yeah, so the priorities we have is to update and renew the wool LDP. The data on that is 20 years old, how they set that LDP, so we'd like them to review that and update that data, so maybe we could look at a little higher LDP payment out of that. Also, we want to renew the Wool Manufacturers and Research Trust, which is a big part of what we do at ASI, so that's an important piece of it. Look at the conservation and disaster payments for a safety net for in case you have a big weather event. All those things. Also renew the Sheep Center. Those are kind of the priorities we have at ASI.
Certainly a lot to go through on that farm bill. And as mentioned, we're going to also see that listening session at the American Sheep Industry Association Convention in Denver mid-January. Well, that's going to do it for Kansas City. Send it back to you guys in the studio.
We asked Montana farmer Walt Sales about the challenges of mental health in agriculture.
Another drought. There always is. There's always going to be another something. I grew up in a generation of you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps. But it's become evident is what do you do if you can't even find those bootstraps? If you need to talk to somebody, go to beyondtheweather.com for free counseling for Montana ag producers.
Welcome back, friends. Your Ag News in your markets as we're wrapping up here in Kansas City. Well, the latest cattle on feeder report released from the USDA showed fewer placements than many had anticipated. In all, the 2.16 million head placed into the feedlots during the month of October were 4% more than year-ago levels, however 3% below the average estimates of those analysts, and pushed the total head count that is in the feedlot to 11.9 million head, a 2% increase from the November 1st count in 2022. The biggest sigh of relief for the cattlemen may be the small surprise of those lower than expected placements, especially after that train wreck they endured from last month. Now, that bullish report will likely add some positivity back to the market, or more so hopefully add that positivity back to the market this week. As we turn to the cash cattle trade, we saw last week the negotiated sales dipping lower by $3 to $5 as packers are trying to get their profit margin built back into the black. The depressed prices were also noted in the local auction barns, with lighter steers seeing a reduced demand at Billings Livestock, despite the corn markets continuing to soften in many areas. In addition, a larger load then had a better demand, as the buyers were certainly interested in those load lots. For Newell Sheepyards, they also found some good demand on the higher offering, with prices punching a nickel better than last week. They also tested the open replacement ewes, with producers really bidding on those younger ewes. And 20-cent losses were felt again throughout the wheat markets last week, with really no news to drum up support, and Russia continuing to dominate the global front. The slide lower now amounts to more than $3 drops from that high set back in late July. Well, that's all for Ag News Markets. I'm Eddie Schwab. Have a great rest of your day.